you will have this sheet. Now, if you look at the bottom, it kind of tells you what to do. So if I say to you, this is an existing restoration. Blue. So let's say, okay, you can see here. So let's say on number 30, I say there is an MOD amalgam. What you would do then is fill in the distal, the mesial, and the occlusal. So if one of the things I want you to do is draw in an MOD amalgam, you would do it that way. Questions?
An amalgam?
This is a mesial, occlusal, distal, and MOD amalgam on number 30.
Malcolm?
Amalgam, filling, a silver filling.
So does that count as existing restoration?
No,
Oh, still.
I'm gonna keep that there.
Would that be for like amalgam composite? Is any type of filling would be this?
That's what you would draw in. Let me just finish, okay? So, now, if you look, well, you can't really see it, can you? This is supposed to be shaded in. This is shaded in, but it's so you can't see it. But, so, if I wanna say an MOD amalgam, then this is an A for amalgam. Okay? Now, let's say we have an MO composite on number 29. Not an MOD, but an MO. So here's an MO composite. This is a C. Okay? Now, if you look over here, see it says amalgam, A, composite, C. Okay? I know you can't see this very well, but that's a C, and this is an A. Okay?
So does it matter if we put it on the top shaded area or the bottom one?
Well, you mean up here, or down here?
Well,
See this, you can't see it, this is a date,
okay.
but you don't need to worry about that for the, you don't need to worry about that for the practicum, and you don't need to worry about it when we're actually in clinic, because you're gonna do it on the computer in the clinic, in open dental. Okay? But there's supposed to be a date there.
The bottom says existing restoration. The last row.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. I haven't used this in a long time, since last year, we've been using the computer. Okay, now, let's say, there was mobility. Can you see that yet? Let's say I say there's, 1.2 millimeters of horizontal mobility on number 4. So, if you look over here at mobility, greater than 1.0 millimeters of horizontal mobility is a number 2. And I said it was 1.2. So, on number 4. So if you look up here, it says mobility on number 4. So it's a number 2 mobility. Now this is pathology. Anything that is in pathology, you write in red. Any pathology is in red. So that is a number 2 mobility on number 4.
Can you just explain that one more time, Ms. Dubo? You said if you called out.
If I said it moves horizontally 1.2 millimeters horizontally from side to side.
That would be grade 2.
That would be a 2. If it's 0.2 to 0.1 mobility, then it's just a 1. If it's greater than 1 millimeter of horizontal mobility, then it's a 2. But a 3 is horizontal and vertical. So vertical is like if it's compressible. So if you press down on it and it moves vertically and horizontally, then it's a 3. Okay? So let's say there is a buccal furcation on number 2. Now the furcations are here and here. So this is the buccal and this is the lingual. Do you see that? So if I were to say there is a 1 furcation on the buccal of number 2, I would draw it with the point going into, they call it the crotch, the point going into the crotch, if it's a number 1, if it's a 1 furcation. You see how this point goes into the point there. If I said it was a number 1 furcation on the buccal, but it was a number 2 furcation on the lingual of number 2, on the distal, then it would be a triangle. Like that. But now you can see the point is going up towards the coronal part of the tube. You see how to draw that? Now, let's say I said it was a 3 furcation on the mesial lingual furcation of number 3. Let's say it was a 3 furcation. Then I would draw the point up into the top, a full triangle, and fill it in. Okay, so this is a 1, this is a 2, and this is a 3 furcation. But what is incorrect is, this happens every year, so I want to make sure everybody, do I have everybody's attention? Everybody, look at me. Okay. This is incorrect. You do not put the point up here. That's wrong. That's bad. Don't ever do that.
Was that supposed to be, number 2 on?
That would have been a number 2, but the point is not going into, it's not going coronally. It's going towards the root. You want that triangle to go coronally into the crotch or furcation of that tube.
So with the crotch.
I believe you said that, not me. Okay, so now we have mobility, we have furcations. Now, let's say that I said we have lingual readings, we have lingual probing depths on 26 and 27 of 3, 2, 4, and 5, 3, 2. Now here, you have to think of your sequence. I said 26 and 27, is that what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what's our sequence for probing? We start out 1 through 16, 16 to 1, then where do we go? 17 to 32, or, yeah, 32 to 17 facial, and then 17 to 32 lingual, correct? Okay, so I said this is 26 and 27, and I'm gonna say lingual.
Just cut it off.
Okay? So this is 26 lingual. So this would be what? 4, 2, 3. So this would be 4, because 4 is considered pathology, that's in red. 2 and 3. 2s and 3s are not pathology. 4s are.
So when you go on the lingual surface, you just have to get used to writing from left to right, not right to left like you normally
On the lingual, it's going to be from right to left. Cause you go from
Yeah, right
17
to left.
to
Yeah, so
32.
you have to kind of get used to writing backwards a little bit.
Yeah. Now, 27 is going to be 2, 3, 5. So 27 is going to be 2, 3, 5. Do you understand? So you have to remember your sequence, you have to remember what's in red and what's in blue. Remember buccal and lingual. Okay, now, let's say,
I have a question. before
Sure.
we move on. So if it were to be buckle, it would be the other way around.
correct,
So it would be 3, 2,
4
4.
and 5, well,
You wouldn't.
no, it would be, like it would be this, let's say this was buccal. Then it would be 27 is 5, 3, 2. 5, 3, 2, and it would be 3, 2, 4. If it was the other way around.
It's the same thing as the top.
But yeah,
Uh-huh.
would it
But
be,
It would
you
be the
read
same.
it differently.
But you have to remember
Way
your
you say it.
sequence.
would it be the other way? Cause you start on the mesial, so the 5 would be on the mesial of 20.
But this is 26, so this is 26. So this would be,
You don't always necessarily start on the mesial.
No, but in the sequence, you would start on the mesial, right, of 27, 26.
this is the buckle, is 3, 2, 4 on 26. See, here's 26 buckle, 26 buckle is going to be 3, 2, 4, cause you're going this way.
You're going
The
from
other way.
32 to 17?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you're starting on the buckle, I was
Yeah.
going backwards, I'm sorry. And
Okay,
then-
you guys are really messing with me. Okay,
Can we do a practice run of this too sometimes where you just call out numbers and we're doing it so we can get used
we
to
can do that,
writing it in that way
we can do that.
for the
Missing tooth. Let's say they have all 4 wisdom teeth are missing.
exit out.
So you color in the tooth blue.
We're not using X's?
Wait, is X's just if they need to get it removed?
Missing tooth, if the tooth is missing, if you color in the tooth blue. And you would do that to all 4 wisdom teeth, if I said all 4 wisdom teeth are missing. Okay, so, the parallel lines. let's say there's a big space between 8 and 9. Oops. Because I think they're red, aren't they? Yeah. That's supposed to be red. If there was a diastema. You guys know what a diastema is?
It's space
Gap.
Space between.
the gaps in between.
Okay, okay, let's say there's a, cavity on number 12 that's going to need an MOD composite. So, it's decay, they wanna put an MOD composite in there, and this, you will still put in a C, but you will put it in red. Sealants. Let's say they have an occlusal sealant on number 19. So then you would put in an S. Let's say there is a root canal on number 22, existing root canal on number 22. You just draw a line in the middle of the tooth. Okay, now, recession. Each one of these lines equals 2 millimeters. So from here to here is 2 millimeters. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8. So let's say on this tooth, you have 2 millimeters, let's say 3 millimeters of recession. Okay? So that's between the 2 and the 4. Then you would write with a sharper, you would actually write it in red. Let's go up here. On number 11, let's say there's 3 millimeters of recession. So you would write that in red, and then you would write 3. Can you see that?
Sharpener there.
What?
Is there gonna be a sharpener there?
I'll sharpen it.
That just looks like you've completely colored
Covered
all
it in.
those lines.
Recession is red line?
Recession is a red line, like that, between the 2 and the 4, and then 3.
Okay, so red line with the millimeter below it. I don't know this one.
You see that? That's recession.
Would you write an R in the box, or is that number just going to?
That number will
Okay.
indicate. Okay, so let's say we have a mixed dentition that, because deciduous teeth are letters and permanent teeth are numbers. So let's say on number N, or letter N, tooth number N is going to be deciduous. So you would circle N as being present. Let's say O and N are present. So you would circle those. Let's say N needs to have an MOD. Let's say O has an MOD amalgam. So you would go down here. But you can tell the difference because these are circled.
Can you repeat that?
So let's say these are all permanent teeth here. Let's say 21, 22, and 25 and 26, they're permanent.
Uh-huh.
But 23 and 24 haven't erupted,
Okay.
which would not happen. I'm just picking those
Yeah.
numbers. Let's say they're still there. So you would circle those letters indicating that they were still present.
Okay.
And you said the blue MOD is existing and the red MOD is what's needed.
Is decay, yes,
Okay.
or carries.
Okay. So it's just identifying when it's a baby tooth, like specifying if it's still primary dentition. And then, okay, but that's still the work that needs to be done or it's already done.
Correct.
Got it.
Okay? So you guys can play around with that. Again, remind me and we'll practice. We'll do some runs. What?
In clinic or?
No, I don't wanna take clinic time. I think because we have such short clinic time, I don't wanna do something that we could do in here in the clinic. Plus, I think it's easier if I can have something like this up to show you,
Mhm.
as opposed to trying to yell down the length of the clinic. Yes?
Can co-presidents have that copy of the sheet?
We use that as an example when we do our mock.
Some of it's wrong.
Well, we'll know.
Sure. Just know that some of it's wrong.